Hi, this is Beth at the Beckley Library again, and this time for our how-to craft video, we're going to be making a Christmas wreath with our candy cane frame. So what I've got here is I've got the candy cane wreath form, and I've got some 2-inch by about 3 yards ribbon, and I've got 2 different colors. You can do it with one, you can do, you do you, whatever makes you happy. So, but what we're going to start off with is I'm going to take my handy dandy hot glue gun. Again, if you prefer tacky glue, it's just hot glue, dries the fastest, and it's what I prefer. So I'm going to start in this bottom corner. I've found through some trial and error with these that starting in the bottom corner is easier because you don't have to worry about covering up as much. And just going to hot glue it right in the bottom corner like that and start my wraparound. And it helps a little if you hot glue it in place as you go, just so that it doesn't come unraveled on you or that it doesn't slide down the frame. So I'm just going to add another little dab of glue right here, right on this part of the frame, just to hold my ribbon there. And I'm leaving enough room with the wrapping of this one for this one to come in afterwards. So we're just going to keep going up. And again, I'm going to put a little bit of glue right here this time. It's really just, it's not going to be the same place every time. It's just wherever the wrapping takes it. Okay. Be very careful if you're using hot glue, dabbing the ribbon in place, because, you could burn yourself very, very easily. That's why I say if you don't like hot glue, tacky glue works just as well. Just takes it a little bit longer to dry. So, and we're just going to keep going until the whole frame is wrapped with our first layer of ribbon. And here's the trickier part coming around this curve. You might have to glue it on the back as well as the front just to keep it to stay in place. And if it crinkles a little bit, that's okay. The end product will still look beautiful. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue on the back part there to hold my ribbon right here on this curve so that it doesn't come sliding back this way. And you want to make sure that you're leaving a little bit of space still, but not too much space, so that when you put this ribbon, your second ribbon on, it'll cover up the whole gap. So, and it might overlap on the inside curve, and that's okay. You'll still see both of them. A little bit of glue right there. And keep going. Again, a little bit of glue just right here on the inside seam so I can wrap it around and it'll hold really nice. And a little bit more right here. And it doesn't take a lot with hot glue either. Just a little bit of a dab right there, and just pull it tight across it. Should keep it held down, but I press it in a little bit. You shouldn't have to, but just in case. And we're almost to the end. So here at the end for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and, let's see, glue it down to the back part right here. Got a little bit more glue than I meant to. And just right there. So now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave a little bit of extra and cut that off. And I'm going to fold it flat and glue it across like this. That way, if you know, our red doesn't end up covering all the way to this corner, just like where I started down with this corner, just so that we're absolutely sure everything's going to be covered. So we're just going to go ahead and put a little strip across the bottom of the bar and press that down. And then I'm just going to put a little bit across this edge. So now that's held in place. And it's perfectly okay if once you get to this end, it seems like we don't have a lot of space here left over for the red, but that's okay because we can just wrap our red right over top of the white. This is just so there's not any empty space when we get there. So now we're going to move on to our second ribbon, our red, and keep your extra ribbon because we're going to use that for something else here in a minute. So we'll just set that to the side. Okay, now we're going to be making our ribbon that we're going to use to accentuate our wreath. So you want to start with, if one of your ribbons is longer than the other, you want to start with that. I just made the mistake of trying to do the red first, but we didn't have enough of it. So we're going to start with our white one and pick about how much length you want your tail of your ribbon to be and leave that. Then start a loop. You know, however big you want it. Like I said, just be sure that you're going to have enough ribbon. And then pinch the end of where the poof of your bow is going to be and twist. And that's the first bump of your ribbon. So now I'm going to go ahead and add the red to it. So again, just pick about how much tail you want. Pinch it to the first part of your ribbon. Make this second one just a little bit bigger and try to keep any of the creases out. Pinch to the same spot and just twist the red and try to get them facing the same way and try to get out any folds that are in your ribbon so it'll be nice and poofy. And one more bump for this side of the ribbon. Take your white again, and about the same size as your first one, just pinch it and twist and fluff it out, and that's side number one of our ribbon. So to keep our first half nice and secure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, hold it down like this, and add a little bit of hot glue and take our white ribbon and I'm going to wrap it. I'm going to push it down into the hot glue. Be careful, don't burn yourself like I just did. And I'm going to wrap it around and bring it back out the top so we can start our second half, and that should hold your first half pretty well in place for you. So now, to start the second half of your ribbon, you're going to want to try to match up the sizing as best you can to the other side, and we're just going to work backwards, doing the same thing that we did last time, starting with our top bow this time. So just twist, and you'll probably have to refluff everything at the end, but that's okay. Let's see. Let's see how that looks. Does that about match? I think so. Close enough anyway. And then I'm going to take my red and do my center ribbon. Just a little bit. And twist. And our last white loop, Try to match that size as best we can. And final twist. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and cut off right here our red. And again, I'm going to wrap our white around after I put some hot glue on there. Let me go ahead and grab, these are handy if you're like me and you burn yourself a lot. You can get them at Walmart, the Dollar Tree. They're just silicone finger protectors. I'm out of glue. Let me grab another glue stick. Sorry. Okay. That's better. So now we're going to put our glue down and using the silicone thing so I don't burn myself this time, press that down and wrap around. So now we're going to cut off this excess again. I'm going to do this one towards the back so it doesn't show, and we're going to glue it down back here. Okay. And we're going to refluff our ribbon a little bit. Okay, and now, because this does look a little half-dash in the center, what we're going to do is that nice center part of the bow that you always see on ribbons, we are going to take what little bit of excess we have, and we are just going to make that by wrapping the extra ribbon around like that. And we're going to glue it just like that, or if that's a little big, if you think it's too big, I think it might be. We're going to fold it in half, flip our bow to the back, just a little bit of hot glue, and push it down. To keep it folded over, I'm going to put another little line, just a little dab. And tuck it. A little bit more glue. Cut off the excess. So now we have a nice pretty bow to go on our wreath.